Hello and welcome to Tech Frontier. Today we are going to explore a really interesting topic. Stay with us. Is the United States actually preparing for a kinetic military intervention in Mexico? In early 2026, the rhetoric shifted from political debate to national security emergency. We aren't just talking about Border Patrol anymore. We're talking about the Department of War, Special Operations, and a White House that just classified fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. Today, we are breaking down the Trump administration's 2026 National Drug Control Strategy, a document that officially ends the era of passive containment. With the legendary kingpin El Mencho reportedly dead and his successor, El Jardinero, captured in a drainage pipe just weeks ago, the Mexican underworld is in a total tailspin. Is this the beginning of the end for the cartels or the start of a much more violent chapter? The 2026 National Drug Control Strategy isn't a suggestion, it's an ultimatum. Under the Great American Recovery Initiative, the Trump administration has fundamentally rewired how the U.S. views the drug crisis. The biggest change? The FTO designation. By labeling the Sinaloa and Jalisco CJNG cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, the U.S. has unlocked legal powers usually reserved for fighting groups like Al-Qaeda. This allows for massive financial seizures, the targeting of any global company that moves their money, and, most controversially, the framework for kinetic strikes, targeted military actions against labs and command centers on foreign soil. Trump's plan also hits the supply chain. He's implementing national wastewater testing to track drug use in real time and has passed the HALT Act, making even the chemical precursors of fentanyl a Schedule I substance. He's also playing hardball with trade, threatening massive tariffs if Mexico doesn't dismantle the extraterritorial command structures of these groups. While Washington draws lines in the sand, Mexico is experiencing a seismic shift. For over a decade, Nemesio El Mencho Oseguera Cervantes was the most feared man in North America. But in February 2026, the King of Jalisco was finally taken down in a massive military raid. Usually, when a kingpin falls, a war follows. We saw a red alert wave of violence immediately after his death, burned buses and urban blockades, but something unexpected happened. The Mexican government, under President Sheinbaum, pivoted to a high-intelligence top-down strategy. Just days ago, they captured Audius Flores, alias El Jardinero, the man tipped to take El Mencho's throne. But don't think for a second the cartels are gone. The CJNG still operates as a paramilitary franchise with nearly 20,000 members. Meanwhile, the Sinaloa Cartel is eating itself alive. Ever since El Mayo Zambada was handed over to the U.S., a civil war has broken out between the Mayos and Los Chapitos, El Chapo's sons. Mexico isn't just a country dealing with crime, it's a collection of warring city-states where the cartels control everything from fuel to the avocado trade. But President Claudia Sheinbaum isn't backing down. While she has moved away from the hugs not bullets policy of the past, she has drawn a hard line in the sand regarding Mexican soil. The tension reached a breaking point this month when Sheinbaum reacted angrily to the news of a failed covert operation in Chihuahua. Reports surfaced that CIA agents were involved in a raid on a drug lab that ended in a fatal car crash. Scheinbaum's message was clear. Cooperation, yes. Subordination, no. She warned Washington that the presence of U.S. officials in combat operations must remain the exception, not the rule. However, she's facing a massive internal crisis. The U.S. Justice Department just unsealed indictments against the governor of Sinaloa and 9 other high ranking politicians, accusing them of being on the cartel payroll. Scheinbaum is now trapped. If she hands them over, she risks destabilizing her own party. If she keeps them, she risks a trade war with Trump that could tank the Mexican economy. Despite the seizures and the high-profile arrests, the narco-economy is incredibly resilient. Trump is demanding measurable results and has even targeted Mexican politicians, with the U.S. Justice Department recently indicting 10 high-level officials, including a former governor, for collusion. The U.S. strategy is now a relentless offense. They are attacking the labs in the mountains, the banks in Mexico City, and the precursor shipments coming in from China and India. But critics argue that as long as the U.S. remains the world's largest consumer of these drugs, someone, whether it's a Chapito or a new Jardinero, will always be there to fill the golden coffin. The 2026 strategy is the most aggressive we've seen in a century. It's no longer just a war on drugs, it's a war on the organizations themselves. But can you really kill a multi-billion-dollar franchise with drones and tariffs? I want to hear from you. Does the foreign terrorist designation go too far? Or is it exactly what's needed to stop the flow? Is Mexico heading toward a full-scale civil war now that the old guard is gone? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on the most high-stakes conflict in the Western Hemisphere. Thanks for watching.